Hi everybody, welcome to Sandy Treasures. Today you're watching part 2 of Dashy Trashy Mermaid. She is part of the collection of my Trashy Mermaids. I love them so much. Why am I doing Trashy Mermaids? Well, I want to point out that we can make different choices on the individual basis for when it comes to plastics, okay? When it comes to bottle plastics, when it comes to containers, when it comes to clothes, I mean, everything on the individual level. When we go to a restaurant, we can ask the restaurant owners, or just a waitress, like, hey, have you guys considered biodegradable straws or plastic containers? Biodegradable plastic containers, they exist. They're making them out of seaweed, they're making them out of bamboo, out of hemp. There's a lot of choices out there. We need to get out of this habit that we have of plastics because, believe it or not, I just found out bottles, plastic bottles, some of them can last up to 700 years. Okay. So you figure, we have like, let's say a million, which is nothing, a million plastic bottles that we consume and we toss out, and they go into a landfill or they go into a river that goes into an ocean, something like that. For 700 years, that's too long. Coca-Cola bottles, plastic bottles, they last 450 years. You can Google that. I just did. So it's a long, long, long time. I don't have kids, but I do have nephews and nieces. And, I care about the earth in general. I care about Mother Nature. I care about the plants. People that will say to me, well, we can't fix the problem. We are not going to be part of the solution or whatever. I say that generation needs to go, and I know that sounds harsh or whatever, but most of the people that will say something like that are probably in their 60s or 70s. And we as individuals have been part of the problem. We as individuals can be part of the solution. I am super, super impressed with the founder of The Ocean Cleanup. This kid, I think he was a teenager when he founded The Ocean Cleanup. And I think he was in Guatemala swimming in their waters, and he found more plastic in the water than fish. And he just came out and he said, why don't we just clean this up? And now this company, like last year in 2024, they actually removed about 11 billion tons. No, I'm sorry, 11 million tons. I'm sorry. 11 million tons of plastic from the ocean. Okay. So I say when we toss it, forget about recycling because we're not really doing a good job as far as recycling. So if you think that, you put it in the plastic bin that says recycle and that's, how you do things and you think you're doing good, well, guess what? Only 9% of the world's plastic gets recycled. That's like nothing compared to the billions and billions of waste that we, after we consume, we just dispose of it. So let's start thinking how we can, next time you buy shoes. Okay, this is something that I did. I went ahead and got some shoes. I needed, but I looked first for biodegradable shoes instead of just looking for any kind of shoe. Okay, when I get my next set of trash bags, I'm going for biodegradable ones. For my next set of bottled water, I'm going for biodegradable ones. That's the kind of thing that I can do on my level, on the individual level. And that's the kind of thing that everybody can do. So let's get on board with that. And now let's talk a little bit about Dashy Trashy Mermaid. Are you guys liking this? I hope so. If you are, give me a comment. Let me know what you think. I think she looks smashing. And I love her indifferent look. I think that she looks a little pissed off, almost like she could just flip the finger for everybody. So yeah, I guess that's a little bit of how I feel, a little bottled up, looking at what's going on. And this is the platform I choose to speak out. But at the same time, she's making the best of it. So she has her plastic straw necklace. And those fish, I didn't find any clownfish bones to use as reference. So I kind of like made it up a little bit. Well, I used a fish, but then I embellish, like where the fins go for clownfish. And that's what I'm trying to portray. Basically, the anemones that she has that kind of look like a fur on her, covering her boobies. Basically, those anemones are supposed to be thriving on waste. So that's why I figured this would be really good for the subject. And she's sporting a beautiful set of earrings that are made out of the dead clownfish that could not survive on this toxic ocean anymore. And of course, she made her beautiful necklace made out of plastic straws that she found in the ocean. And here I'm giving just the final touches with the bubbles that are going into this toxic, polluted ocean water. And I almost forgot to mention the 6-pack bracelet that she's wearing. These 6-pack holders that they hold cans, they're so detrimental to the livelihood of turtles and fish in general. You see videos, or at least I have them in my feed, where you see a turtle that was maybe smaller and then they kept on growing and now they have like a waist because the 6-pack holder got stuck on their waist and they look so odd with a waist. Or the dolphins that get this stuck on their nose or their tail. And if you have never seen what I'm talking about, just do that search, like a 6-pack plastic holders on a turtle or a dolphin or a fish, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Once that is in your feed, once that is in your algorithm, you'll see that more often. I see it all the time because I do look for that. And one last thing before I go is if you guys like, subscribe, hit the notifications, and give me a comment, and you are in the area, you can stop by my studio at the Treasure Coast Mall right now, and you can pick from any of the prints that I have. If you want the print of the Dashy Trashy Mermaid, let me know so I have that one available for you when you stop by. Okay, thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you next time. Make sure you share this. Bye.